Asa, yam fast da matchede amponyankopon se wode ma ahoden ama yinyina yetimi akoye dwuma so ne yetimi aba bedura so biemwa. Okay, say nyini panyina ne nyane sei. Nti yede radi ase. And also, let me welcome all of you to Occupying Stand on YouTube with so better ye numrei aje edwa aboade mu ede nsem no ede ebrem sane se na sane fata. Oh, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. My quick way. Commander Griffiths. And then Commander birthday. Happy birthday to Commander Griffiths. A beloved fan of Asante Kotoko. Of fact, Kotoko Jumedi India. And then Commander birthday. Commander Yamentun Kwem Nauma Honena Bibianko Ye Emfa Emau. So in today's episode, I'm going to talk about Kotoko game of ball against Baby and Goldstars. Then I'll enter into the transfer world where we discuss the transfers. And then, me pan your baby huntuma. And say, maybe sure me any series. We can't na. Adi achia, ebe ba bontin mo bi akebi. Tiene me be kafoforo. Na adi achia e wokuru. Ne bibi etimi akoyi. Well, Kumasi Asante Kotoko played against Baby and Goldstars. And then our Cape Coast game and day 1-0 for Kumasi Asante Kotoko. Bernard Sumwa was the scorer of the beautiful goal. Goal in the effort. We share senior ball no otifi baba ya ho. Na onya abotre kwan nan no epia ball ne to atremu a na efe pa. Tiambo Bernard Sumwa baso wonderful Keller and a boy. Kwa ball no shot was that was decent. Line up no yeah the two manim se best indeed a sign. Ubenya Mohammed Kamara na wenya Lord Amwa na wenya Brantia even Patrick Esiedu. I think this is first start for Kotoko. Patrick Esiedu, this is first start for Kotoko. Lord Amwa, this is first start for Kotoko. Mohammed Kamara, the first start for Kotoko. Joseph Ablo. Premier League team there, I think they're winning the first start for Kotoko. Well, now when you Henry Ansu, Samuel Tinedu Premier League team are against Kotoko in the first start. Hassan one started and Midiama one started. Samuel Tinedu so the first start. Yan twaso. Obenya Michael Chedwamra on the last season no. Baba last season no. Bernard Sumwa Peter Akwa Abdul Karim Abdul Rahman also started. We win them run to a share game na Sema Asante Kotoko. Bernard Sumwa and the share go. What are the key observations? Well, we had a comment to SOTV. It's a monitor game in and we had people on the grounds also giving us feedback. Mohammed Kamara had a close to excellent game. But excellent, very good first impression. Very good first impression. Generally, we get that report, any videos I hear, any the activity. It looks like first game for Kotoko. The other pool, and my hotel said there will be proper competition at the goalkeeping department. Also, Kotoko Lusu, Danlad, Ibrahim, and Moise Poitier. No question if you lose these two goalkeepers, especially Danlad, captain, he understands the Ghana Premier League. Then it means that your goalkeeping department, therefore, when you are signing players, you should get players that will give the current goalkeeper competition. And clearly, reporter Banche said Mohammed Kamara displayed an excellent performance, which means that even if Frederick Asare, which I still believe as the captain, is on one and them, unless or prove beyond reasonable doubt that he's not fit to start. But even if he's starting and Mohammed Kamara is on the bench, Otu and you have Kotoko bench, and we shishu baby because we did this any panel or honor. Ye way free mobility abadana, we poop, and we have to coin. For instance, Frederick Asare gets a blaster scorer. And probably at that time, the Ghana Premier League is not on break, which it is. They said, I'm saying, but we are Kotoko, Asarinya caller, but the Ghana Premier League was not on break, even though the national team won. It means that you have a goalkeeper in Mohammed Kamara and another one on the bench you can trust. So, so yes, excellent first impression or decent first impression, but he will still need more games to prove whether he deserves to be the number one at the moment. But according to the buyer, the Obon Homo, then you give him somewhere around a 7/10. Lord Amwa, not a bad game for him. Picked the yellow card. My second observation before I move on to individual players, Maka Kamara, it was an intense game. It was an intense game. Someone I trust so much, catch him say, looks like players now they need to justify themselves. Team no because born at the point, the person in quote was trying to tell people, let me put it that way, say, boys now down because the intensity ne aggression na no the bobo na no thing. Don't say competition or Kotoko team coach Ogum na nkasa kase or a bit of a dilemma in terms of who to select. Nti clearly obi ahun say massa minya chance dia me boabo mu ateteno. And that was what happened today against Bebiani Goldstars. An intensive game. It was a cars no were flying. Normally a preseason match there. Obu cry a shena because you all know in preseason matches the results is not really the most important thing we are all looking out for. But I just saying enough players just listen. The players were fighting for a position and which is positive. Healthy competition. If well managed, but if you manage it well, it's good. It means that, listen, you are getting players who are committed. Last season, there were issues of commitment. So if you are starting the season and you're getting players they are all fighting to prove themselves to the team, to the fans that, listen, we are committed. Mama a chance, it is something positive, and that is another observation from the Bena Somwa preseason form. Ejano Egusu so last season, Obi ano copy possibly the dance yourself. Open one of the players and be a delight to watch and Bena Somwa. Let me give a story of last season. Last season, Henry Ansu, excellent preseason. Na Nuruddin Krenka. Preseason na Kotoko opposite. Na Nuruddin Kam. Na Yen himself was going to be Ansu and Sheriff Mohammed. Kotoko ball in Swatre. And that was a friendly game. And away prior. Henry Ansu prior. And a Nuruddin ball. 7 minutes. No. That game ended in a 0-0 baba. And a Nuruddin bem. Oh, Capipo Somo ya. You talk about Andrews Intimem. Intimem had an excellent preseason. I don't know what happened to him last season. But last season was excellent. Henry Ansu. Bena Somwa. Shadrach also had an excellent preseason. And the starting season, the first 2 games, our coach Ogumboy, he played Shadrach Ado in front, just behind the attackers. Good. And Bena Somwa had an excellent preseason and even Peter Akwa. Was our picky beam? Somwa started last season prior. So let's pray he picks no injury. But that was a wonderful goal na Bena Somwa said. 110 be a yikaka. The finishing of Somwa and Peter Akwa, no comparison though, but I'm just making a point. Miss chances. These are all young talent in critical moments. But it appears that in terms of finishing, Somwa is a better finisher than Peter Akwa based on the maturity of both players. So clearly, if someone can pick up, chances of him scoring, that's somewhat me and simple and calm, just like Isaac Okon. So excellent game, decent goal scored. Yembo Nabaso for the job. Samuel Tinedu was a beast in the middle, and everybody is singing praises on Samuel Tinedu, and that is what we are all expecting. Yemubiaka say, "Ye Jinidi, our born no betimiabon." We know him to be a protector, a breaker of opponents' build-up. And then against Bebiani Goldstars. That was a wonderful game. I yembo Samotini Duabaso, which was another observation. Henry Ansu Joseph Ablo are also knocking on the door for starting position as the center back pair. We feel Bia were extremely critical on the man. Was Ubed Ansu Ablo, wonderful ball on my boy. This is against Babian Goldstars, but Babian Goldstars is a Premier League team preparing for a league. Results not so much important, but the pattern of play. The anchor for a year or park and so and only idea in here. And Yambo, Harry Ansu, and Joseph Ablo Abaso. Decent game. Emmanuel Entry came from the bench, and as usual, I mean, he directs. He's a director. Spread the code, spread the code. There was one moment of passing the touch was too heavy. But that was a decent pass. No, the man Bena Suma after Sena Suma Babeda air right side. Kotoko missed the services of Elvis Shebafu and Dawuda Saka because of injuries. So let's hope that these players will not be injured. Well, Abdul Rahman did not have an excellent game. On an impression now, sure, he will still need time. It looks like between the two Sudanese, a smart Abdul Hamid looks more settled than Abdul Rahman. We will have to see him in the next game and see how best he will operate. Now, what we will say about him. But all in all, was a decent exercise. Baby, and Goldstars were also physical. Also, a lot of changes in their team. And almost all the new players, no so any abre. Say almost break into the team. So there was that kind of competition also from the Frimpong Mansum team. The next game is against Hohoi United. I think Kotoko will need another preseason friendly games. I'm planning for and try. After Hohoi on 25th, they will need another preseason friendly game. Somewhere around the 30th. What I say? A top one. Then come about Hohoi, they don't pay dreams be. Oh, I'm pe club bimbo. Mete Baseke Holy Stars, but looks like a 100-yard so. I'm pe club bimbo. Ewo hot na. I'm fan to 2 ammonia ye. I'm fan to 2 ammonia ye na. Still, there are still some rough edges. It's not a finished article, but this was the second team. But some of the second team players are knocking on the door to be starters, and let's see how things will go for Asante Kotoko. Good exercise from Coach Ogun. You better expect Kotoko media at least. I'm going to Coach Ogun to come kakra. Na amoma ye nyina yesu yenye bintie. Na ye ntimi breaking it down. Emfama eye Asante Kotoko omo echitafo. Well, that was it for Kotoko. Any baby, any Goldstars. Let's move on to other issues. And this is where it gets critical. And I may can't say, I mean, I'm going for a comment section, but I will say it. I know it. Shawkan Mohammed is the name I'm going to mention. I have no other name but that. Anopamede Bremo, our SOTV football. And now I'm catching them or porcupine stand. They said, Asante Kotoko is expecting a call, and in this case, one of the IMC member, maybe doctor. The Kotoko IMC members, don't get it twisted. There are 2 doctors on it. Dr. James Akwesiapi and Dr. Ogun. To make a doctor and fan question Dr. Bia. Good. Now, call number. Call no seven nyende. Bameka. Shawkan Mohammed to Kotoko is reducing every single second. Our transfer world. It's reducing every single second. Monday and Mekai had a lot of backlash. Man for say, but I knew what I was saying because me catch him say foreign deal because boy in a passport. I could pay more embassy be or more young wajuma. Hana go for the Nana team ni share, but I did not mention Nana team. But no, the Yamea don't make clarify say no. We come as a man, can you make kind, especially those who are writing it. But twice to catch him say he agreed a pre-contract with the Diana Stars. Nana Domahin. He agreed a pre-contract. In this case, Shawkan Mohammed. The kind also count. People thought it was an old news. It wasn't. But I was giving you the news. Nana Mamin Chemu ye. Emfama yina. It turns out that in as much as Mekanenra, so Kumasi Asante Kotoko company for based on Nkomo Amedi, Ebwa Shawkan with the legal issue because they had a copy of his contract. They presented it to a lawyer. The lawyer gave advice as to how things would go, and they submitted it to Shawkan. And it turns out that Ediana Stars were also helping the boy handle his case. In Kenya legally, they offered an advice to Shawkan on what to do our player status committee. From what I'm picking, Ediana Stars also did the same thing. Also, Boy offered him an advice on what to do in the case of player status committee because they had interest in the deal. Because they were waiting. Say, boy, no, freer. They have a chance of signing him. Now, come on, say it here. Ediana Stars, based on my conversation, agreed with Shawkan based on contract. Maybe almost signing. I know Pamikan SOTB said remember contract. I said it around 9 a.m. But no panaya crowded. It's a number amount full fee. To now but 3 children se much for no muti no de akwada. To make an no panna me debre when good. Ediana Stars was a boy any free agent legally based on RS. I've forgotten that FIFA document. A registration and transfer of players. It states that a free agent cannot demand an onward transfer. A player cannot demand an onward transfer. An agency cannot demand an onward transfer. But sometimes some of the clubs, to get a player, will include it in their negotiation. Onward transfer is only given to clubs. But your agent will not sign you based on mutual respect and understanding. But you do to say me play or you free, me dene brewa. Otona normally ka player the enka otona and a club auto free major percentage. But this is about free agents, so there's no percentage to any club. In this case, one send to a transfer fee to any club because me agent I'm doing player now, but entino. For mutual understanding, auto player now I am a percentage. And some of the clubs, because of demand around the player, will agree and they will take the player. So in my understanding, Shawkan Mohammed, agreement with Ediana, and part of it was that in case he signed for Ediana and they are selling him, 10% of the sales will go to the player. But this contract, according to what I was told, is only valid if the player is playing locally or to find they are invalid. Footballers. Good. Kotoko Sunomani boy Nedin Komokwa. Now let me go into this. Kotoko submitted a 3-year contract to Shawkan Mohammed, of which he was going to earn a salary starting from 4,000 Ghana cedis. But every year, Bianen Kebekosro till the 3rd year. Okay, I say discussing Mukwala contract will happen. Emma make us a Mukwala contract, not the best player. CAF Confederations Cup or the top scorer or the Champions League. Meaning our bonus is a or Boakot Komomuji League no about 70% of the matches will score beje or Boakot Komomuji FA Cup about 70% of the matches it will score beje. All those clauses, just like Mukwala DNA a template based on player no banner, they will give you the figures, not the figures national. There was that other incentives from Confederations Cup, Champions League, Ghana Premier League, FA Cup, best player, top scorer. But there's a number of matches you need to play for those clauses to be activated. Shawkan Mohammed. They studied the contract and got feedback which was positive. I heard them Mekacho say they've agreed, but any signing, but positive feedback, accepted. But accepted, no, they were waiting for the verdict. Now I am twice so Mama Diana on Mama Kotoko Hono. I want a tough foul. Baby Ejineni. Shawkan Mohammed is traveling. And only the Adao, he is traveling. And I'm picking Portugal, Mekan and Ra, and in Tunisia. I know so about the book. At the moment, because a nanopa, one major person in Kotoko. I said, no, I call nearby. But it was like almost the whole day, no one table until a new call nearby. The Anameka said, one of the doctors in the Kotoko IMC on a call around 9 o'clock and call a call. And it wasn't positive. So, and that day, no Ukrainian said, Kotoko, former player, Osaye Chiteni Kasia Paiboni di Obianim. What didn't Odin Tintimayo Dauda Saka coming to Kotoko? I know he called Dauda to speak to him that time and asked Samates in Swatre Kata. Meaning to speak to the person, listen, come to Kotoko. And then that person called Razak Kasim. Yes, because they are looking for alternatives. He called Razak Kasim, spoke to Razak Kasim. Omo Kasim come number to us because now Omo Koyad ye. Let me put it this wasn't a Kotoko match, you know Omo Koyad ye. Ti nkomona sa peja ni ti wa Razak Kasim. Because Kotoko Kasim has not signed for any Premier League club. On signing man has Fuka also out there because Aziz Nuruddin is back. They are looking for alternative. Legon Cities, Alidu Mohammed, no, more panel. Edna Babi, you know, defensive midfield. So Kasim come on, that's why I see. So yes, Kotoko, not official member, not an IMC member, but Wafrek Razak Kasim. Now let me tell you this: when it comes to Ghanaian players and the foreign talent, and what the agents are doing, TME agents then come on here, Tiawa. Se Kotoko Asia player. No catch and say, listen, Kotoko, bit me Blastars. Send your bo obano. Bit me Blastars, bit me to Kwankwa Brutri, who proof our building. What these agents are telling the boys is that massa. Kotoko no Ghana, Hany do kwa Brutri nada. So chances say, maybe your initial contract might not be as high as top players in Europe. But the second division here and our first division here with European me the obey. So ba usa after 2 years, if you can excel, salary now be baby about ×5 of the original club. That is what they are telling these young boys. I know where I'm coming from. This is how I'm framing myself. Now they go on to tell you, say, Timmy, tell you, say. So Bobo on crane tete there faso crana or visa. When your visa, sometimes club now bonibit me about access to invite some of your family members to Aburuchiri, and they've been using that to convince the family members of the players. Catch a player, business master. Obano okupiemu Spain, okupiemu Croatia, okupiemu Portugal, France. Club bonibit me about Obano invitation letter say, oh, me Bobo aha. My work permit will be via the bobo. Yeah, program, be person me mama me papa. Person busu ya for baby nuba. Ubetimi dia form aba car ho e was Spain ha or Portugal ha. Ama mama ba ye adwuma. Na no so no kasa sam ne to busu ya for ni trima na sell ma dwen. Na say wo Kotoko no house in common no. Omo mpa tie. This is even different from Skatom Bema player no. Omo mpa wo Kotoko ne house asem ne tie. I hope you understand me very well. 2, if the player is even €1,500 a month, which to clubs in these countries, they just get more. €1,500 in this get more because on finance what? Even they are paying that in a month and a week. Yes, salaries here treat your players being a week. Our these European countries are a month. Or who's or mouse says can who say, oh yeah, okay with it. Ketwana or the amount. But 1,500 no. Nipa converted the back Ghana cedis are who seek a beer our proposal a bonnet to baby cry. So you look at the other factors that they are convincing these players with, and again, the salary these players will be receiving at the moment so be more $1,000. Or Sasao Ghana, you get almost 15,700 Ghana cedis. Because some place the dollar is 15.7. We have 15,700 Ghana cedis as a month. In Saoba now be propose even 7,000. Plus the additional benefit I can boost your food trim now. And that is the reality. So Shawkan to Kotoko is getting difficult every moment. Bibia bit me say this is transfer. Everything can happen. But at the moment, me ready and asem I'm a coach for fraba. Yes, and now I'll be honest. Nipa ne catch a doc say doc. Yen tu kwan a yebebo Kotoko na ma. Nipa ne kan so yen tu kwan na yebebo Kotoko na ma. But your assembly will be catch a wa. It's all too dream. I said wakosi oba penos you. I'm not ready to be in a relationship. So for now, let's be friends. Your partner say one on aware. Ti ona one person betwempra. So that's the Shawkan story. And I don't think I can go any deeper because my breath. Ti the woman na ma ka kire mo no. Ti medicals bien so. And I'm happy. Some more trust medicals are cost. And right after the video, some of them have corrected it. Good. Monday makers, I know how some of you have invested in this Shawkan thing and they want to see him, but I see it as it is. Only Cape Coast and unveiling BMBM because even permission for the player to finalize the deal and sign has not been done. On signing on your medicals, only Cape Coast. That is Shawkan Mohammed. I mean, Kenya, my bread. Bye bye.